Are you ready to learn some real life English with comprehensible input? Well, good, because today I am in the Rocky Mountains and I am going to answer questions that you guys asked me. Let's go. Hey guys, it is your English speaking friend, Kyle. Today, I'm going to bring you some more comprehensible input to improve your English. What is comprehensible input? Comprehensible input is when a native speaker, like me, speaks slowly and clearly so that you can understand. Guys, my family and I are in a beautiful place and we're recording things for the trip, but I figured I would start the video here with the questions and answers. That way I have a beautiful place to answer the questions that you guys asked me. So let's go with the first question. Okay, first question. Hello and thank you for your efforts. Being American, you know more about the best way and what are the sources, meaning what kind of topics and things for someone who wants to master the language. The most common thing is that there is a language of native speakers and a language that we learn through YouTube or a course online and so on. In this case, what do we learn? Street language or the language that is available and official on YouTube that we are used to? Very good question. And guys, courses can help. Many people have learned languages with courses, but it's not the most fun way, and I don't think it's the most efficient way. What I'm doing here, guys, the way that I talk to you is exactly the way that natives speak, at least where I'm from. And all that I do is slow down how fast I speak and pronunciate every little part of the words that sometimes we smash together when we talk fast. So I'm giving you guys 100% real native English. I even use street English and then explain it to you guys. So I think that is the most useful language to learn, the most useful English, and that's why I say real life English. Are you ready to learn real life English? Because that's what this is here. And as you watch my videos, you are learning real life English like we talk to our friends and family here. Next question. I have a very important question. I will be a senior in high school in Turkey when school starts. I'm an English language student, but my English is bad. I get bad results in my exams. I need to study vocabulary, but I am afraid. I don't know how to study. There's vocabulary question resource, but how can I solve the questions that contain words I don't know? Please help me because I'm about to go into depression. Please answer, Kyle. You became my teacher and your knowledge is important to me. Thank you very much for saying that. Don't be scared. Guys, we have to face the trials and the difficulties in life with courage. I believe in you, so believe in yourself. There's a lot of ways that you can learn vocabulary. I think reading is a wonderful way. You can find some very easy books, children's books, things online. You can watch my videos. I put subtitles in them. When you see a word that I say that you don't understand, pause it, look it up on your phone or the computer, translate it, and learn that way. Now, it's slow and it's not fun, but if you really want to improve your vocabulary, I think that way is a lot more beneficial than using the vocabulary resources. Those feel like studying, but if you're reading a book that you're interested in, that's a fun way to acquire some vocabulary. Or like I said, watching videos you like, movies, TV shows, pause it, write the word down, and translate it later. That's a good way. Okay, hi. First of all, I'd like to thank you for helping us with your videos. My questions, how do you guys feel about what's going on in the United States at this moment? I understand that it's a lot. So any topic that you'd like to talk about would be appreciated. So guys, there's real things going on in the world. You know, people are really going hungry in Gaza and Sudan. You know, there's real wars going on. But the stuff that is going on here in the United States is 99% the news, okay? It's people that want us to think there's bad things going on. Yeah, there's problems here, guys, but guess what? Even the poor people here are overweight. People aren't starving to death here, you know? The media companies want us to think that it's bad. They want us nervous. They don't want us thinking right because it gets them clicks. And camera wife, what do clicks bring? Cha-ching! Money. It's a business. It's all a business, guys. The news is a business and it's propaganda. So they want our attention, and when you're scared, you're gonna read that story. You're gonna spend time watching. You're gonna spend time commenting on the videos. I hate Trump. I love Trump. Trump's evil. No, Trump's trying to save us. That's exactly what they want. But guess what, guys? Here in the United States, it doesn't matter if I see a person from a different country or I see somebody who's African American. If we're both good people, we're both good people. Nobody's fighting a war here. So 99% of what you see in the news is professional propagandists. So yeah, there's problems here, but not like the places in the world where there's real issues going on. All right, guys, found another beautiful spot. So I wanted to answer another question over here. And this question says, if I watch your videos, do you think my English can reach C2 level in 3 or 4 years? Well, C2 level is almost native English, and I do think you can reach that in 3 or 4 years if you become obsessed with it. So that means you're going to need to spend hours a day watching content like mine, reading books, watching shows and movies made for natives. So I wouldn't say just watching my videos would make it happen in that amount of time, but if you consume so much English in that amount of time, you read full books, you listen to podcasts every day, yeah, I definitely think you could. So that's the thing. You have to become obsessed with it if you want to reach a level like that, meaning hours every day for that whole time. Can be done, guys. I was having conversations in Spanish after 1 year. Definitely not C2, but probably close to B2. And it was because I became obsessed. I was watching movies, shows on Netflix, reading books every single day. That's what it takes to get a high level in a language. Hope that clears up your question a bit. All right, guys, we keep finding more and more beautiful places. Baby, if you can show. The sun is coming up and it's making everything look different in different spots. So it's just really beautiful. So I want to take a minute to answer another question here. So this question says, how is the life in the United States? I mean, the people, are they nice or not? My level is B1 in English, but I still need more to talk and speak. So where can we find people to talk with? And what do you think about guns in the United States? That's a good one. So are people nice or mean? That's a complex question. And it depends on where you go. There are places where you'll meet very, very rude people. Rude means they don't have manners, they're not polite, they're not kind. And there's places where you go and it seems like everybody's nice. So if you're out hiking, doing something healthy, doing sports, all the people that you meet are going to be kind, awesome, cool people. Because only cool, good, kind people care about things like this. You never see bad people out here. Bad people don't want to do this. They want to sit around and do bad things. And also it depends, if you go to a very poor place, sometimes the people will be a lot, more crimes, more bad things happening, more bad people. There's also great people who don't have a lot of money, but when you go to a place where there's not money, that's where you'll find the worst people because they're doing what they have to do to survive, I guess, and sometimes that's crimes. What do I think about guns in the United States? Most of the people that own guns here use them the right way, okay? They use them to go hunting and doing things that are perfectly legal, they're perfectly safe, and things like that. There's a lot of criminals with guns too. In big cities like Chicago, people get shot every weekend. That's a bad thing. But the problem with making more laws, people say, oh, they need to make laws so that there's not guns. The problem with that is when you make a law that says you can't have a gun, who does that stop from having guns, wife?
Not in the way.
Only the good people who care about the laws. The bad people who break laws, they're going to do what they want anyway. So it's a really touchy subject and a very difficult one. So there's millions of people around the United States who are responsible gun owners. And then there's a couple of bad people in the bad places in the big cities who are doing crimes with it. All right, guys, we did another little hike to this lake. Another very nice spot. Everything's beautiful here, guys. This one's not as beautiful as the other lake, but it is a very nice place. So I figured I'd answer a couple questions here. So guys, there's a few that I'm not going to answer. I can't answer all of them. It would be a very long video, but I'm specifically not going to answer all the ones about is comprehensible input enough to learn a language? Should I do other things? And I'm not going to answer that because I have an interview coming up with somebody who is much more of an expert than me, and I can't wait to ask him those questions. So this question says, which Iraqi food do you like? Well, we made dolma, and I know the Turks will say, oh, that's our food. But I made Iraqi style dolma, and it was one of the best things I ever ate. Next question. How did you meet your wife? She is very lucky. I'm very lucky I met her too. So guys, my wife is Colombian, from the country Colombia. She came here to the United States on a program where they give you a visa and you become an au pair. Au pair is a French word, which means a nanny or somebody who takes care of children. So she got a work visa because she wanted to come here and learn English. So she came here, and she just so happened to come to a city that's very close to where I live. I met her online. We started talking. She found out I speak Spanish, and we went on a date, and the rest is history, guys. So that's where it started, and now look at us, been married for almost 2 years. We're both very lucky to have each other. All right, guys, how's this for a view? I figured this is a good spot to do a question. Wow, man, I could just sit here and meditate looking at that. That would be awesome. Anyway, next question. Hey, Kyle, hope you're doing great. I have a bunch of questions for you. First question, what motivated you to start this channel, and do you do anything else apart from making educational content? So I started this channel because Dreaming Spanish helped me so much. That was the channel that Pablo Roman started. It's Comprehensible Input to learn Spanish. Once I saw how much that helped and how much better my life was when I was learning Spanish and found out that I really love languages, I wanted to share that with people like you. So I decided that I would make a channel like Dreaming Spanish, but to help people with English. And that's why it's called Pensando Inglés. In Spanish, Pensando Inglés means thinking English. So it's a very similar concept to Dreaming Spanish. Do I do anything else apart from making educational content? I have a full-time job. I work crazy amounts of hours and also do this. So guys, I always say I have 3 or 4 jobs. First of all, I'm a father and a husband. Second, I have my full-time job. I'll tell you about that in a second. And third, the YouTube channel. So what I do for a career to make the most of my money. Now we're making money now with YouTube, but it's not enough yet. So how I make the money to pay for my family's needs, our homes, our food. I work in the steel industry, guys. I've been working in the steel industry since I was 19 years old. I got my first job at a steel company. Now I work for one of the biggest steel producers in the United States, and the hours are tough, but it pays very well, and it gives you very good health insurance for your family. Most people have to pay a ton of money for health insurance here in the United States. That's one of the bad things people always talk about the United States. You have to pay for health care, and it's very expensive. My job pays for it for us, and I've learned a ton working in steel, guys. I know pretty much everything there is in the process of making the steel that is used for cars. We make the steel that Tesla uses, so you're welcome, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. So guys, no, I work in the steel industry. I do YouTube full-time, and I'm a father and a husband. I'm a busy guy. Second question, how come you always find ways to know different cultures, their cuisine, their history? Have you always been like that? Well, it started when I was young and watched Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was so cool, guys. And one of them, he's in India. He's speaking Hindi or whatever language they were speaking. And then he goes somewhere else, he's speaking that language. I always thought that that was the coolest guy on earth. He travels everywhere. He knows the languages. He knows the cuisines and the customs of the people. And to me, I wanted to be like that. Now, I didn't travel when I was younger. Only when I became an adult, I started learning languages and traveling and things like that. But I've always been adventurous. I just didn't know that learning a new language was an adventure in itself. So now I know that. I try and learn about every culture I can, because each one is like a whole new world, guys, a whole new adventure. That's why I love cooking the dishes from the countries that you guys tell me about. I love learning a little bit about the history and even a little bit of the language. So I'm trying to learn a little bit of Arabic, but it's difficult, guys, because the writing system is different, and I love to read. So first I have to learn the writing system. So it is tricky, but I have studied a little bit. أنا بعرف شوية عربي. means I know a little bit of Arabic. So yeah, I've always loved adventure. Now I'm just making it a reality and actually doing it because I have the means to do it now. I have, you know, the finances and a wonderful adventurous wife and son who will do it with me. So third question, can you share some tips for those who want to be teachers? So guys, I've helped over 100,000 people with their English now, but I don't consider myself a teacher. What I am is a guide, a friend, okay, who teaches you the natural way. I'm not in a classroom. Watching these videos is being with that person, okay? It's like being in that culture. It's like going to that country and learning naturally. I guess technically I'm a teacher because I am teaching and now I'm getting paid for it, but I don't see myself that way. I see myself as your English-speaking friend who wants to share his culture with you. So a tip for somebody who wants to be a teacher, I recommend starting with a site like italki, and you could teach your native language. You don't even need to speak English or any other language. You could put on your profile, I could be a language partner for people who are intermediate, and that's a good way to start out, make a little bit of money. And the more students you get, the more money you can make. And you know, here in the United States at least, becoming a professional teacher and teaching at a school, it's a rough job, guys. It's very stressful, a lot of hours, and it does not pay good money. My sister was a teacher. She went to college for 8 years to become a teacher, and now she doesn't even use the degree that she spent all that money on. She got a good job, way less stress, and you don't have to deal with disrespectful little kids. All right, guys, another beautiful view, so we're gonna answer one more question. How can AI help me learn a language? What are good ways to help a language and translation student? And why do I find it so difficult to write while speaking is much easier? Well, for one reason, maybe your native language is a language with a different writing system, okay? That makes it so hard. For example, my native language is English, and I'm trying to study a little bit of Arabic, but I'm finding it so difficult because the writing system is completely different. So it's like you have to learn the writing system first in order to read, in order to write. So if the first language you spoke doesn't use the Latin alphabet or the letters that we use in English, it's going to be a lot harder to write, much easier to speak. But it is worth it to learn that alphabet so that you can write and read, because reading is an incredible form of comprehensible input. So for the first part of the question, how can AI help me learn a language? Well, for one, you can practice speaking to it. I'm actually considering collaborating with a AI language learning app where you can have conversations with it. You could practice a job interview with it. You could practice travel vocabulary. So I'm going to look into that app, and if it's good, we're going to collaborate soon. But even with just ChatGPT, you could put it on voice mode and talk to it, tell it to correct your mistakes. You could practice your writing with it, tell it to correct your grammar and make it better, or correct any mistakes you made. So those are some ways. What are some good ways to help a language and translation student? Show them my channel. All right, guys. Next question with this beautiful view. What is your opinion on greedy people? How do I feel about greedy people? Well, guys, there's a difference between rich people or wealthy people and greedy people. There are some people that have a lot of money, but that do many wonderful things for the world. They help people who have less than them. You know, they'll help their family, their friends. They want to do good with their resources. And then there's evil, greedy people who fight wars because they want to take something from somebody else, or they start wars just so they can make money selling weapons. That's greedy, and unfortunately there are a lot of greedy people. People like that are evil. Rich people, if they worked hard, if they spent their life making a fortune and they don't use it bad, I respect that and I want to be that. So I have no problem with people that have a lot of money as long as they don't use it for bad. I think money is a tool, and it is like a magnifying glass. If you were a bad person before you got money, it's going to make you a worse person. If you were a good person before you got money, it's going to make you a better person because now you can help more people. Just look at that view, guys. Wow. All right, guys, it's another day. The last question was yesterday. Today's a new day. We're hiking again. This is called Red Rock Lake. Wife, why do you think they call it Red Rock Lake?
Because it looks a little bit red.
The rocks look like they have some red on them.
All right, yeah.
So it must be a certain mineral in the rocks here. And I guess that's why they call it that. But this is a very peaceful place. You could see all the pine trees, the mountains in the background. Guys, everything is beautiful here. All right, so let's start with a question. Is life too expensive in the United States? I will study economics and international relations. Does it sound like a good major to you? Is life too expensive in the United States, wife?
It is.
It is. But it depends. If you live in a big city, crazy expensive. And you better have a really good job, or else you're going to live in a terrible little apartment, probably really dirty, and maybe with neighbors that are not very respectful. So if you're going to live in a big city, you better make good money to live a good quality of life. However, if you live outside of the cities, in places that are further away, you can find some houses or decent apartments for a lot cheaper. That's the hard part, guys. If you want to live here, you're going to have a job that makes pretty good money. Or what else do you have to do, wife? What do people do? You did it.
To have 2 jobs. No. But...
2 jobs, yes, or roommates.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very common, guys, to have roommates, which will be, my wife had 2 other girls. They all lived in the same apartment and they shared the expenses. That's how expensive it is here, guys. Back in the 60s, the man could have 1 job, the wife could stay at home, and they would have a car, a nice house, eat good food, and go on vacations. That was the American dream a long time ago. Now, in order to live the American dream, most families, the husband works, the wife works, and they work a lot. Unless either the husband or the wife has a really good job, and then the other one can take care of the kids in the house and stuff. But yes, if you want to live in a big city and a nice place, very expensive. This one is from a dear friend of the channel, Luis. Luis and I have had conversations on the channel twice. He's an awesome young guy. His English is great, and he's what I would call a go-getter. A go-getter is somebody who's always working on their goals, always trying to improve. So Luis is a kindred soul to me, okay? We are on the same path of trying to improve ourselves. So shout out to you, Luis. Thank you for being a friend of the channel. I'm going to answer your question right now. Luis says, would you choose to see your future if you could, or if you were given the opportunity? Cool question, right, wife?
Yes.
Do you think I'd like to see my future?
No, I think you don't need it because you already see it.
Guys, I live in my future. I see my future every day. I saw this channel hitting 100,000 subscribers 1,000 times before it actually happened. I see my future. So, would I see my future if I could? No, because I see it already. And to prove that I see my future, and my wife could tell you this is true, in 2 days, I'm having a conversation with somebody who I've wanted to speak to for years. So I see my future every day, Luis. I suggest you do the same. Visualizing is a powerful, powerful tool. Let's go, wife. All right. Next question is from another longtime friend of the channel. This is from Juan in Mexico. Juan, thank you for your question. Here we go. I want to get back into reading. My question is, what books would you recommend? I have a hard time finding a book, and since I know you've read a ton, it would be great if you could recommend different styles or plots. Well, Juan, you know this is a good question, and I am happy to answer it. So it all depends on, what are you into? Do you want fiction or nonfiction? One book that I always recommend that is fiction, meaning it's made up, it's a story. It's fiction, but it has incredible lessons in it too. That's called The Alchemist. My wife's read The Alchemist. Everybody I've recommended read The Alchemist. They tell me after they read it how incredible it is. I read that book, and I would say it changed something inside me. And many famous people have said the same thing. They recommend that book. They say it helps you follow your dreams. So if you haven't read The Alchemist, in my opinion, that is a must read for every person who has goals in their life. Another one, if you want to start getting serious about your finances, it's another story that is fiction, but with very important lessons. What book, wife?
Oh, that's my favorite.
The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon. That one teaches you the importance of being smart with your money and paying yourself before you pay the rest of the world. So The Richest Man in Babylon is also a must-read for any person who wants to become financially successful, in my opinion. Next, if you just want one of the best books, the best novels ever written, The Count of Monte Cristo. That's a tale of love, of pain, of loss, of revenge. The Count of Monte Cristo is my favorite book, my favorite novel ever. That one is an incredible story, and if you read it in English, there's some really advanced vocabulary in there, so that's a good step. Let's see, what else? If you want to learn about how your brain works and how you can change it, how you can improve your mental health, Breaking the Habit of Being You is incredible. That book changed my life. And really anything by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Becoming Supernatural is an incredible book. Those books are full of scientific stuff, but I found it fascinating because I love learning about the way our brains work. I love learning about meditation and spirituality. So those books combine science with spirituality, and I absolutely love it. If you choose one of those, please let me know. If you want a quick read, The Alchemist or The Richest Man in Babylon are very quick, easy, and entertaining. If you want a long project, if you want something scientific, go with Breaking the Habit of Being You. Or if you want a pure novel, a beautifully, artistically written novel, The Count of Monte Cristo. All right, another beautiful spot. Wife, can you show that river behind you? So the noise you guys are hearing is that river, which is flowing pretty fast. That would be cool to take a raft down that river. That would be fun. Anyway, guys, we're in this beautiful little part of forest. All these pine trees, fresh air. Connor's having so much fun over there, walking around. He turned his sweatshirt into like a protection from the sun. He's a smart boy. Good question here, I like this one. Hi Kyle, I was wondering, do you like gardening or growing plants? If so, what is your favorite thing to grow? For me, I enjoy gardening, but all of my plants usually die. I'm sorry, that's not fun, is it? I hate when you work on something and it doesn't work out. Still, I never give up. That's a winner's attitude. Never stop, never give up. And then there's a question about English too. Like I said, guys, I'm not going to answer all the questions about English because in a couple days, I'm talking with someone who can answer them way better than me. So let's answer the gardening part. Yes, I love gardening. I haven't done it for a couple of years. But back when I met my wife, when we first started dating, at the house I had then, I had a little garden in the backyard. And I grew the best tomatoes, guys. The best tomatoes and the spiciest, spiciest peppers. So good, guys. I grew Thai chili peppers, I grew ghost peppers, and I grew the little tomatoes and big ones. Guys, I made the best pasta sauce with my homemade tomatoes and peppers. The peppers are really cool because I like spicy things. I made hot sauce, but my favorite is the tomatoes because, guys, when you grow tomatoes at home with good healthy soil, you don't use any chemicals, they taste 10 times better than the tomatoes you could buy at the store. Seriously, the tomatoes at the store, they taste like water. When you grow your own tomatoes, guys, it tastes like there's spices in it. So gardening, I love. I think it's wonderful for your mental health. It's such a peaceful and healthy hobby, and you grow healthy food. So gardening gets a thumbs up from me, and if I give something a thumbs up, that means I'm saying it's good and I support it. So gardening is awesome. Now that we bought our own house, next summer, I think me, camera wife, and Connor will have a garden over there. We've got a good backyard for it. So maybe I'll be gardening again soon. Maybe next year in the summer, we'll have a Learn Real Life English helping me in my garden video. See you guys in a bit. Okay, guys. Home sweet home. We're back in Indiana. Home sweet home is something that people sometimes say in English after they've been somewhere else, after they've been on a vacation or away from home. When you get home and you're happy to be there, you say, home sweet home. It's good to be back. And that's something about vacation, guys. It's fun. It's incredible to go and see new places in the world, experience new things. But at least for me, it always makes me appreciate home. Now that we're back home, I'm going to answer a couple more questions and then end this video. Okay, this question I like a lot. How do you usually deal with your difficult times? And what food can you eat every day without getting bored? Well, let's start with the easy one. What food can I eat every day without getting bored? Steak. I love beef, guys. I could eat a big steak every night for dinner, maybe with some white rice. Ooh, and I'd be one happy guy. Now, how do I deal with my hard times? Exercise helps me when I'm stressed out. Meditation helps me a lot when I'm stressed out. And I think the number one thing that helps me is my discipline. Guys, I've developed a discipline over the years that is very strong. And the good thing about discipline is no matter how you feel, you will keep going and keep doing what you need to do, even on the bad days. So develop a discipline. My discipline is what helps me get through my hard times the most, I would say. Even when things are going really bad, I keep going because I have built a discipline. And discipline is like a muscle. You train it and it gets stronger. Meditation is super important for my mental health and dealing with stress as well. And here we go. Hello, Kyle. What do you think about the religion of Islam? And would you try Algerian food next time? Guys, I'll talk about Islam in a second. That's going to be more complex, but everybody wants me to try their food, okay? And I promise I'm going to cook all these dishes eventually. I'm going to keep going, keep cooking them all. And I have a couple Algerian dishes that I am for sure going to try, okay? But I have a long list, so be patient, guys. You will see your dish on this channel, I assure you. Algerian food will get its day, I promise. Next, the religion of Islam. Well, guys, the religion of Islam, my personal experiences with Muslims are very positive, okay? I've had two Muslim friends, Muhammad and Abdul, and they've been two of the kindest, most welcoming people I've met. Muhammad was a very good friend of mine for a couple years. We trained jiu-jitsu together. He was always there if I needed him. He was a kind, polite, honest person. And Abdul, I didn't spend much time with Abdul, but the first time that I hung out with him or passed time with him, he invited me to his home. He cooked me a dinner, a nice Pakistani meal, and we discussed Islam. We discussed Christianity. We discussed philosophy. And he was a smart, kind, very good person. Those are my personal experiences in real life with Muslims. They've been very positive. And online, guys, a huge part of our subscriber base is Muslim. And guess what? You guys show me tons of love. Tons of the comments that are super positive are written in Arabic. God bless you, you know. And you guys send me that love, I send it right back to you. You guys know that I love our Muslim friends here on the channel. My thoughts about the religion itself is that Muslims are very disciplined people, and I like that. I'm a very disciplined person. I like the dedication that they have to their rules. And guys, the thing about Muslims, they will not bend. They will not bend their rules. You tell a Muslim they can't eat pork, they're not eating pork. You tell them they need to pray at this time, they do it. They take their religion very seriously, and I respect that. Some of my favorite athletes are Muslims. My favorite fighter, one of my favorite fighters, Habib Nurmagomedov, is a devout Muslim. Him and his whole team, I love how disciplined they are. And the reason they're so great at their sport is because they're not drinking alcohol, they're not going to parties, they train, they pray, they eat good food, and they stick together as a team. Here's another good one, guys. I am from Uzbekistan. What do you think? What can your walls tell us in the room where you spend time alone if they spoke? If the walls in my room where I spend my time alone could speak, what would they say? They would say, this guy has had some hard times. He's been very sad, very hurt, but he never quit. He always believed in himself, and he always kept pushing towards his goals. Those walls would say this guy has spent many hours thinking about the future, many hours meditating, many hours reading, many hours working on his goals, editing videos. I think my walls would would say that I've been a very dedicated person. Okay, here's a good one. How do you use AI, artificial intelligence, to promote your working efficiency? So guys, I use AI a lot. I use AI as my personal assistant. Anytime I have a question, I'll ask it. I use it to help me with recipes for the videos. And I use it to write my titles on my videos and to write my descriptions. Okay, and it saves me tons of time. And it can choose the words in a way that it helps get more searches. So AI can be a wonderful tool. If I'm going to make a short video, I'll tell it the idea I have. It'll write me a script. I never use it for scripts for videos like this, for long videos, because I want them to be natural. My videos come from my heart, my mind, and I don't want to be a creator who uses AI for all their ideas. What I use AI for is for the things that I don't want to do, okay? Writing long descriptions, writing the titles. I use AI as an assistant. I give it a job and it does its job. It's a tool, guys, and it can be used very efficiently to make your job easier. All right, guys, that's all for this video. Thank you so much, my friends, for being here with me. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing those beautiful views. I sure enjoyed being there. Both my son and my wife already say they miss Colorado, so maybe one day we'll go back. The next video you guys see on this channel will be a video that is so special for me. It's me collaborating with my language learning mentor. You guys will see who that is in the next video. See you all soon.